Good evening, gentlemen. Actually, this lecture is more by way of sharing my thoughts with you on this particular topic, that is the place or role, rather let me say the place of women in the Quran. Let me make a confession. I was brought up in a traditional middle class Muslim family, and I can say this. One is coming right. Why I am discussing this topic with you? As I was telling you, I was brought up in a traditional middle class Muslim society, and it was a family of practicing Muslims, not some ignorant Muslims. Some of my ancestors, they were scholars, Muslim scholars also. But let me make a confession, very frankly, honestly speaking, and this is of course all with reference to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Qur'anic. I was literally fed on misogyny, not hate, but inferior views about women. औरत क्या है? नाकसूला। औरत क्या? पैटी जूती। औरत क्या? उसकी किसी बात का एतबार। और नौजुबिल्लाह उसके लिए कुरान और हदीस का हवाला। हदीस में आया है नाकसूला। अब वो तो टेढ़ी है, उसकी सरिश टेढ़ी है। हदीस में आया है कि उसको तफलीज पैदा किया गया, तफलीज किया गया। औरत तो छिपाने की, दूर रखने की, फिर हदीस का हवाला दिया। किताब वो हदीस में है कि औरत की वो नमाज बेहतर है जो घर में नहीं बल्कि घर की कोठरी के अंदर पढ़ी जाए, वो नमाज जो है वो फजीलत है। So look here, I told you, I had some half truths, some not very substantial or true teachings of the Quran which were there in my family or in the coming please in the Muslim society. Sorry. Very briefly, one by one I will discuss it with you. So, when I started studying the Quran, I thought, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ahkamul Hakimeen, the best judge. He is the most just person. How could it be? He created two species, one male and female, and one of them is inferior and the other is superior. There may be differences. Differences is all right, isn't it? Here is a book, the two are different in many respects. Difference is all right, distinction is all right. The two boys are sitting, there are some distinctions among them. But just to say that one of them by birth is superior, the other is not. In other religions, this kind of notions may be there because of caste, because of other things, but certainly not in Islam, because Islam is an egalitarian religion. So, my dear young friends, in this background I tried to study the Quran, and with all responsibility, not because I am a Muslim, not because I am somebody associated with the Quran Center, but with full responsibility I am sharing this view with you, making this point to you of all the scriptures, at least the Old Testament and the New Testament and the Quran. I went to study to my shame thoroughly the Hindu scriptures or Buddhist scriptures, but these two scriptures, which is known as the Bible, the Old Testament and the New Testament and the Quran, I can say with full conviction, without any fear of contradiction, that gender justice, gender parity is found only in the Quran, not in other scriptures. Why I say that? Not just that because I am a born Muslim. First of all, please keep this point in mind. I have Janakan. Look, this is Allah's criteria. Very famous, familiar Qur'anic verse. You have an idea of this? God has created you from male and a female. Okay, both are equal. He has made you into communities and tribes so that you may recognize one another. Perfect equality among everyone. No matter what is your nation, what is your tribe, what is your country, what is your nationality, in the eyes of Allah there is unimportant. What is important in Allah's eye? Only one thing. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. Taqwa. Akramakum, the most honorable in the eyes of Allah is he or she who has taqwa. Generally, taqwa is translated as piety. Taqwa is translated as God consciousness, God fearingness. But the best definition of taqwa is the thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the back of your mind in all what you do or what you say. Not just khawf. Khawf is of course part. Khashiyah is part of taqwa, but taqwa is not just about piety. As soon as if I say piety, generally think that outwardly having a beard, having a particular kind of dress, having a particular way of life. So when Quran says taqwa, it means leading life in a way 24/7 with the thought that Allah is watching you and you are answerable, accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what taqwa is. He is a graduate of another. I am just a university student, Dr. Mubin Salim. I am sure he will verify this is what taqwa is. Taqwa is not to be confused with just one definition. Right. So, my dear young boys and girls, keep this in mind. Allah is not concerned with whether you are Sayyid or Junaha. Allah is not concerned whether you are white or black, Indian or Timbuktuian. Nothing. Only thing which carries weight with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your taqwa. Inna akramakum indallah. Most honorable is he who has more and more taqwa. So this is the one thing. This is the deciding factor. Not that you are male, she is female, not that he is from Kashmir, I am from UP, not that he is from that family, she is from that family. Nothing matters. They are only labels for recognition. Now, alright. You see here, throughout the Quran presents the idea of mutual love. Men and women, they have been created for each other. Look, this is Allah's scheme of things. This universe has been created for mankind. And man and women, they have been created for each other. Not that women have been created for man. Equally, they are meant for each other. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says throughout Mawadda wa Rahmah. Mutual love. And this love, we can explain in the sense of attraction also. It could be sexual attraction, biological attraction. This is what Allah's schemes of things. It is not that one is the master and the other is the servant. Both of them are complementary to each other. Both of them are essential for each other. This is the Qur'anic scheme of things. Somehow, because of twisted mentality, because of un-Islamic influences, at least in Indian Muslim society for the last 500 years, women reduced to the role of servitude, meant for serving males, and males as the masters, as the superior. This is not certainly the Quran. Next clear? Right. Why we don't think that women are equal? In life, the most important thing is money. Religion is important, but in real terms, money decides everything. Economic matters, they govern our thinking, our social life. Look what the Quran says. إِنَّ الْمُصَدِّقِينَ وَالْمُصَدِّقَاتِ وَالْأَقْرَضُ اللَّهُ قَرْضًا حَسَنًا. Pious men and pious women, they give a good loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is there equality among men and women or inequality? Allah supposes that women will have the same economic power as men have. That's why they will be able to give. That's why they will be able to give a loan to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, what is our common misperception? Women dependent on father, husband and son. Here, the Quran is granting equal economic empowerment to men and who are the good men and who are the good women who give a loan to Allah. How can you give a loan if you don't have money? So the Quran presupposes that in a truly Islamic society, women will have the same economic opportunities, the same economic power which men have. Unfortunate thing is, this is totally un-Islamic concept that women should not have any economic power. Totally un-Islamic concept. You will be shocked to learn that until 1910, in the whole of Europe, in the whole of West, women did not have any economic, any financial power. She could not own any money, any property, any legal rights, because she was not considered as a legal person. Look, this is the Western, now today Western world, they are teaching us a lesson of equality to women, telling that Islam discriminates against women, but this is what is until 1910, and I am not saying just that, I have not invented it. Anyone, your internet is there, all of you have a smartphone, you can check it. For the first time, economic rights were given to women in early 20th century because of the suffrage movement which later took on the form of feminism and all this. My point to you is the Quran, according to the Quran, from day one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes it for granted that just generally we think, that's what I was telling you, our common misconception is men, they are powerful, so they have money, and when they have money, they can spend it here and there. It is not so. According to the Quran, women have the same economic opportunities, same economic power which men have. That is why, for the first time in history, the Quran gave shares to women in inheritance. You know very well the laws of inheritance. Whether you are a daughter, whether you are a wife, whether you are a mother, you will get a share. This shows women's recognition of women's work. And now it is a matter of detail. We can discuss sometime later why a daughter gets one portion and son gets two portions, because as a wife you will get some portion from there. So for maintaining that balance, that system is there, but that's the difference. Main thing is, for the first time in the history of mankind, the Quran legally made it mandatory that women must have a share in, and we have the living example of Khadija radiallahu anha, isn't it? Before marriage, she was a successful, affluent businesswoman. She had Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And at that time, he was not a prophet, he was a 25-year-old person. But 15 years after when he became the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Qur'an and Hadith did not stop Khadija from conducting business. Isn't it? And you know that business cannot be conducted even today sitting in a air-conditioned room. Look at the 7th century Arab society. How did Khadija come to know about the Prophet? Through somebody, because she was in touch with the outside world. That's why we learned that there is a man from this family, son of Abdullah, who is very honest, who is trustworthy, who knows good business. So she hired him. Look here, a woman hiring someone like the Prophet, doesn't it show power? Doesn't it show authority? Doesn't it show economic empowerment which Islam recognizes for? So, the point I was telling you, there is economic empowerment. Clearly, in very clear words, it is there in the Quran. One verse was this Surah Hadid, the next verse is Surah Nisa. It is about this talaq, isn't it? Inheritance. What I leave behind, both my son and daughter, they will have a share in it. Next one, please. Now you look here, poetic. There is a poetic gender parity here. Those of you who can read, please read and enjoy. The Quran is talking about good Muslims. Who are the good Muslims? Muslimin wal Muslimat, Mu'minin wal Mu'minat, Qanitin wal Qanitat, Sadiqin wal Sadiqat. 8 or 10 adjectives have been used at every place. Both male and female are mentioned together. What the Quran's message is, whether piety, whether doing sabr, whether fearing Allah, khasheen, whether truthfulness, whether fasting 5 weeks, whether protecting your purity, chastity, in every respect, women are as good as men are. Otherwise, why will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention the female gender in all these things? As far as the Quran is concerned, in terms of virtues, in terms of capacity, in terms of potentials, in terms of inner goodness, woman is as capable as man is. Somehow, when I was young, I was told that she's a small one. She doesn't know it. Ignore it. She can't do anything in life. She doesn't have any mental fitness. She's totally untrustworthy. And who was feeding this? Can you believe? My own grandmother, my own aunts, my own mother, they were telling these stories, putting into the mind about the inferiority of girls and superiority of women. That is something culture. Why I can discuss it in detail at some other lecture. They were economic reasons. Whether Western society, whether Arabian society, whether Muslim society in India, that was agrarian society. Agrarian agriculture. There you need physical strength. You need hands to work outside in all climates for harvesting, for farming, for doing this. So naturally, sons, males had an advantage over females. But that does not mean that the Quran makes one superior to another. So you can see there is gender parity. Next one, please. There are literally dozens of verses in the Quran which speak of men and women as totally equal. Look here, this is about marital differences. Suppose, unfortunately, if there is a couple, married couple, and some differences grow among them, what is Allah's command? Have one judge or one this senior person from his family, one from her family, and then they should try to bring about peace or harmony. It is not that male or husband, he has the final word and things will be decided. Total justice. Next is, please go back. Right. This is again about women's honor and dignity. Look how Allah is particular about protecting women's honor. If anyone levels a charge against an innocent woman, the Quran uses very strong language against that culprit. One who is making a charge, he should bring, look what the Quran says, those who accuse chaste women do not produce 4 witnesses, flog them with 80 whips. Physical punishment followed by, after this, never accept their evidence. He will be an outcast. He will be a persona non grata throughout his life if he says some false thing about a girl, about a woman. For us, in our society, it is the most favorite topic of gossip, isn't it? Having slandering women, making accusations against them, even without any basis, just for fun, isn't it? Suppose I have some enmity against somebody, then I may in anger, I may accuse her of being of loose character, but this is our hobby, our pastime, isn't it? Hardly a woman or a girl escapes our loose comments. What is the Quranic position? Of course, the girls, some women could be of loose character, they will be punished, but through a process of law, evidence should be produced, they will be punished. But as far as this, as a show of power, as a show of strength, I keep on doing their character assassination, it is a very serious sin in the eyes of Allah Subhanahu. Immediate punishment, 80 whips, quite a lot. Maybe you don't survive that. Someone could die having this kind of punishment, and then followed by this stigma throughout his life. Never ever that person will be trusted. Next one, please. Right. Now, this is another example of perfect Quranic justice. Technically, this is known as li'an. Li'an comes from the word lanat. Life is full of such situations, not always, but 1 in 100 times what happens, a husband, he has some other differences with his wife, but just to discredit her, he may say that she is unfaithful, she was committing adultery, and he does not have any evidence, but because he is his husband, so this is a serious case. What is the Quranic solution to that? Husband and wife, both of them, 4 times they should say, husband should say that she committed adultery, and wife should say 4 times, it is false, I am innocent, and that's all. Then the Qadi will bring about separation between husband and wife. My point is, according to the Quran, there is no means beyond. हमारे ज़हन में क्या बैठा है? शौहर तो हाकिम है, ये मजाजी खुदा है, उसकी बात जो है आखिरी लफ्ज़ है, उसने कह दिया तो बस वही सही है, और वो तो बाकी झूठ, उसका तो कोई इतबार ही नहीं। अल्लाह की नज़र में क्या है? दोनों इक्वली ट्रस्टवर्दी। First of all, this situation should not arise, and for making it very serious, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that both and husband and wife should fear Allah and should say that if I am telling lie, Allah's lana curse, this is the worst thing, that should be on me. But one of them is not telling the truth. So it is not that only women will be punished and husband will go scot-free. This is not the Quranic. But in our society, somehow false ideas are there and we think that women is not to be trusted. This is the Quranic law. It is known as the law of Liam. It is there in Surah. Next one, please. Right. And this is another very famous Quranic verse from Surah Shura. Generally, we think the birth of daughters is something like a curse. We are not talking about the Arabs, 17th century pagan Arabs. Even today, and we know about Indian society, how feticide is committed, isn't it? So, and one thing more, not just this female birth of daughter, even being childless is considered as something horrible, something unfortunate. And look, what is Allah's law? Allah says, it is I who decides whether he should get sons or daughters or both or none. So being childless is not a curse. What is in our society? Misperception. If a couple is childless, the wife is blamed. She is considered as mandoos, isn't it? She is considered as someone outcast. This is, well, there is a medical problem. You can go and take all medical advice, but even if after all efforts, if you don't have a child, it is not the woman's. It is somehow Allah has decided I should get only sons, he should get only daughters, he should get both, and that one should not get either. This is just as about risk. I get 1,000 rupees a month, he gets 10,000 rupees a month. We are happy. It's all matter of taqdeer. My point is, Allah's laws are marked by perfect justice, but unfortunately, somehow we have given it a gender twist, isn't it? We think the birth of a daughter is something bad, or being childless is bad, and in both the cases, the poor woman is. So that is something which is to be avoided. Next one, please. Right. And that's what throughout, I know very well, I don't have to go into the detail, throughout the Qur'an, contains there are qualities. Next one. Next one.
This is the last one.
Right. Okay. That was just some Quranic verses. Now I will discuss some more interesting ones. As I was telling you, we were in a joint family. We had many cousins, some of them males, some of them females, and the boys we will put together and say that, girls, our sisters, we say, worthless. Never a female prophet is born, isn't it? So you can't compete with us. You are physically weak, and look, even Allah does not trust you. Allah has not sent any female prophet. Okay? Technically, yes, nobody can say that there was a male prophet, because it is not. But what I am going to tell you or share with you, when I read the Quran, I found among all the persons discussed in the Quran, the most shining example, and in the words of Quran, the role model is Maryam. It is not Moses, Musa, it is not Isa. I won't say about the Prophet, because Prophet and Quran are Prophet Muhammad and the Quran, they are synonymous. At least 100 persons by name they are mentioned in the Quran. 25 prophets and some historical figures. among all persons, please listen carefully, among all persons mentioned by name in the Quran, the role model which is presented is of a woman, and that is Maryam. Even before her birth, if you read, please read some verses in Surah Al-Imran and Surah Maryam. In all there will be 50-60 verses. If you read, then you realize how important Maryam is in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only persons, not Musa, not Isa, and you see in these matters comparison should not be made, but I am just telling you, before Maryam's birth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala discussing her birth with her mother. Is it a distinction or not? When she is born, then Allah said, Qubula, we have accepted her. But when Maryam is born, these are the words of the Quran. As soon as she is born, Allah places Maryam under the care of another messenger of Allah, Zakaria alayhi salam. Look at the special arrangements. And she is put in the what we call as mosque or place of worship. There she is born. Before birth, at birth, after birth, and as she and Allah's Quran also says, we made her grow in the best way, physically, mentally, spiritually. And when she was praying inside the place of worship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to send her a special sustained fruits or whatever it was, and that made even Zakaria alayhi salam jealous. And I am not saying all this is not Israeliyat. This is not popular old wives' tale. And now look here, again the same prejudice is there. I am dismissing something as unworthy. I will immediately call it as this is old wives' tale, isn't it? Poor wife, she is untrustworthy, and what she says, that is not to be trusted. So we call it, the idiom is old wives' tale, and that's what, as a student of English, that came to my mind naturally. What I am saying, amazing. Even things which Zakaria does not have, Maryam is getting every day. She is not a prophet. Look, technically she is not a prophet. And when she comes of age, angels start visiting her. And Allah is so particular. इतनी उनको उसकी फिक्र है कि जो एंजल्स उनके पास आते हैं वो ह्यूमन फॉर्म में आते हैं, so that she is not terrified. वरना कोई स्ट्रेंज आदमी आप देखे और खासतौर से she will feel unsettled. But Allah is so particular that He is sending angels in the human form. And when the angels tell her that you will have a son, she is an intelligent girl. She argues, isn't it? She is not that submissive thing that anything you tell her and she says, oh. She says, how? How come it is possible? I am not unchanged. I have never entered into any physical relation with anyone. How can I have a son? What are you talking? Argument, sharp mind, mental power. Then, when the angels tell this is a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she accepts that. Right. And then she conceives a spirit. But the Quran says it was a spirit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not something hardy. And that was Jesus. And even at that time, at the time of conception, she was assured that he would be the son to be born to her, would be a great blessing for man. Like any woman, when she was having this delivery, she had physical pain. Again, Allah made a special arrangement for her. There was like Mojiza, there was a spring of water, there were dates, fresh dates, and angel telling her, shake the tree, the ripe dates will fall, eat them, take fresh water, spring water. When she returned, and she was away from at a secluded place. After the birth, she returned to her people. Naturally, there was a scandal. There is a young girl, unmarried, away for some time, returning with a baby. That is certainly scandal. Is something outrageous. Anyone, even a child would say is something horrible. Look how much concern Allah has for Maryam. He makes once again a special arrangements, makes the child Isa speak in the cradle. Isa is hardly 1 week old, 3 days old, and says, "Inni Allah." Defending her mother's character. My point of view is, in the Quran, no character, no person is described with such love, such concern, such praise as Maryam is. And it is on record that Maryam is respected by 4 billion Christians and the 1.5 billion Muslims. It says Prophet is the most respected person among Muslims, even among some non-Muslims also. But Maryam has this distinction of being held in. Literally, I know in my family dozens of girls named Maryam, whereas she did not belong to that immediate Islamic tradition. She is from, that's what we say, Christian tradition. So, there is a role model in the Quran, and that is Prophet. And not just one role model. Another role model the Quran presents, that is of the Queen of Sheba, Malka Saba. Another woman, another bright, sharp, perfect woman. My point of view is, the Quran is not a male-centered text. You know the story of Malka Saba? She is a queen from part of Yemen. She is contemporary of Prophet Solomon. She and her community, they worship the sun. Prophet Solomon invites her to Islam. She visits him and recognizes the truth, accepts Islam, and becomes a queen. So a woman, first of all, according to the Quran, a woman is a ruler of a state. I will not go into the detail whether a ruler can be the head of a state or not, because there is some political, not so much fiqh, but more of political discussion that can a woman be the head of a state or not. But this one is at least true. The Quran describes a woman as the head of a state. That's not so important. The important thing is she is a whole woman. In spite of her queenship, in spite of her wealth, in spite of her power, as soon as she saw the truth, she accepted it. That is something remarkable. Another role model in the Quran, the wife of Pharaoh. Tradition reports उसका नाम आसिया आता है. The Quran does not name her, but he presents her as a role model. सूरह तहरीम की आखिरी आयत में इन दोनों औरतों का, both these women are presented as very bright, shining examples. One of them is Maryam, and the other is this Pharaoh's wife. Just think, Pharaoh जो था, he called himself God. He was the symbol of kufr and everything opposed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. उसके पैलेस में, उस माहौल में, a woman rises and accepts Iman. Doesn't it show marvelous character, strength of character? मुसलमान घर में हम पैदा हुए, अपना इस्लाम मेंटेन रखे, यही बड़े कमाल की बात है। और बताइए बिल्कुल जो कुफ्र का गढ़ है, a woman who is considered as weak, who is considered as unable to decide anything, she takes such a bold step of abandoning all wealth, all power, all glamour, all glory, and opting for faith. Once again, the Quran shows women have the potentials, women are as capable as men are. The other important human character in the Quran is Prophet Moses' mother. देखिए टेक्निकली तो वही होती है जो अल्लाह का पैगाम हो, इंसान की हिदायत के लिए हो, जैसे मूसा के वही आई, ईसा पे आई, हुजूर अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम पे आई. But if you read Surah Naml, if you read Surah Qasas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to the mother of Prophet Moses. Before the birth of Moses, you know the story. Pharaoh was killing all the sons born to the children of Israel. So Allah made up a plan that as soon as baby Moses was born, Allah directed the mother to put it in a basket and then into a river, and that basket landed into Pharaoh's own wife. My point is, Allah is making a plan, and who is a party to that plan? Two women. One is Moses' mother and the other is Moses' sister. Because she goes to the palace, tells that if the baby is not taking milk, I can direct him to someone who will take good care of that baby. Women, just as prophets, just as angels, Allah does not need anyone, but they are the agents. Through them, Allah accomplishes something. Here are women fulfilling Allah's plan, and it shows here a strong character. Otherwise, tell any mother to throw her baby into a river, she would rather die than do that. But if you have strong faith, if you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can jump into fire, and that's what she did. Another amazing character, woman character in the Quran is Prophet Shoaib's daughters. What did they do? The name Hazrat Musa जब वहाँ गए मिडियन, Pharaoh he had fled from Egypt to escape persecution by Pharaoh. He landed in a new, totally alien town. He did not know anyone. There he met two young girls. They were the daughters of Prophet Shoaib. Prophet Moses helped them. When they returned home, they told their father. What is important in this story, Quran story? These young unmarried girls are highly intelligent. देखिए इससे दो तीन चीजें समझ में आ रही। इनके वालिद जो थे बूढ़े थे, मतलब शोएब बूढ़े थे, वो अपने जानवरों को पानी पिलाने नहीं ले जा सकते। ये लड़कियां रोज जानवरों को पानी पिलाने जाती। क्या है कुरान का मैसेज? आउटसाइड वर्क men should do, if there is a need, women can do it as well as men do. Economic pursuits are perfectly permissible for women. Suppose it was not, according to Quran, it was something sinful, the Quran would not have mentioned it. At the same time, they are maintaining their chastity, they are not interacting, they are not mixing up with the male crowd. standing aside, waiting for their turn, and Prophet Moses helped them. When they go back, they give advice to their father that if you want to hire someone, Hawiyun Amin, isn't it? Hire him because he is physically strong and he is trustworthy. What do you learn from this? The girls as advisors, the girls having mature view, the girls having experience of life, giving their advice, and their father accepted it. One of the girls, named Safura of the Hindu traditions, she was married to Prophet Moses' wife. Another woman character, female character in the Quran, which is again a role model, is the Egyptian Aziz wife. In popular stories, she is called Zulaikha. Quran does not mention the name. Aziz is the name of a title. It was a minister or prime minister. His wife. Why her character is important? Man, look, man is man. Man has some weaknesses. Initially, she was also a woman of flesh. She tried to seduce Joseph. She tried to tempt Joseph. That is in the world. This is human nature. It is not because she is woman, she is doing this thing evil. Important thing is she repented. When she realized the truth, she was the first to make confession that I was wrong. It was I who had seduced her. It was I who had tried to distract him, and now the truth has come out. Immediately she did not. Of course, this much is true. Not that immediately. At that time she was insisting on her crime. She was blaming Moses. She was blaming Prophet Joseph. But after some time, she repented. She confessed. Another very good example. Whether you are a man or a woman, you may, under the influence of Satan, may commit something wrong, but the more important thing is whether you repent or not. Zulaikha, she repented. She realized her mistake. Not immediately, after some time, but she publicly, openly admitted that she was in the wrong and Yusuf was totally innocent. And I give you one more example of the Quran's justice to women. 28वां पारा बोलिए कसम अल्लाह. क्या है सूरत का नाम? अल मुजादला. मुजादला क्या होता है? जंगो जिदाल, फाइटिंग, क्वेरल. कसम अल्लाह होती, ये बताए क्या है? अल्लाह ने बात सुन ली उस औरत की जो झगड़ा कर रही थी. किससे झगड़ा कर रही थी? हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से. जी, अब आप क्या कहेंगे फौरन? बदबख्त औरत थी, बड़ी गुस्ताख थी. जी, इसको तो संसार कर देना चाहिए जो हुजूर से झगड़ा कर रही है. बिल्कुल अल्लाह प्लेनली इसको मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट बयान करता है. हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने चाहे उसकी बात पे अमल किया हो या नहीं, अल्लाह जो है उससे बहुत इंसाफ करने वाला कोई नहीं है. तो इसे अल्लाह ने उसकी बात सुन ली एंड ये मुद्दा. इसका बैकग्राउंड क्या है? देयर वाज ए लेडी कंपनी, खौला उनका नाम था, खौला बिन सालवा. आफ्टर मेनी ईयर्स ऑफ मैरिज हर हस्बैंड कमिटेड ज़िहार. आज तो आप कोई ज़िहार का लक्ष्य नाम नहीं जानता, अच्छा ही नहीं जानता. दैट वाज जाहिलिया अरब प्रैक्टिस. इट वाज a form of divorce. When somebody wanted to torture his wife, he would say, your back is for me, your back is like the back of my mother. Means I will not have any sexual relations with you. The worst thing is, okay, fine, you divorce her. They won't divorce, isn't it? They would confine her and so that she cannot remarry. That was, as I said, a form of torture against women and fairly common in the pagan Arab society. So, that Sahabi, he committed that, so that woman naturally came to the Prophet ﷺ. At that time, the Qur'an had not any command about zina. So, the Prophet asked her to wait for Allah's command. Immediately, the verses were revealed. قَدْ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. The woman who was ordered. She was doing some justice for her rights. So Allah did not rebuke her. Allah has, I would be a horrible person if I say the word rebuke, but if the Prophet did something not up to the high standard, Allah has pointed it out. Surah Wasa it is there. But in the case of this woman, no note of reproach. She is not condemned for fighting. It was not a question of fighting, but arguing or doing something. So, this is what Allah has. As soon as, of course, He knows everything, but when the concrete, real life situation was there, a woman was being unjustly treated and she was under zihar. Allah forbade that practice, and from that day up to this day, zihar is totally out of experience. No one even knows it. My point to you is that this is what woman is in the eye of Allah. At the beginning of my presentation, I told you there are dozens of ahadiths, popular ahadiths. I won't say ahadiths, reports which are known as hadiths, which are NTU, which are not true, they are not true ahadiths. I will give you one example. अभी देखिए बात हो रही थी, women should not be, this is a misperception that women should not be seen publicly. In the Prophet's time, in all the prayers, including Fajr and Isha, when it was dark, and that was not a period of this mercury sodium lights, women used to go to Masjid al-Nabawi, perform prayer there. And this was Prophet's taqwa, that one day he was going there with his wife Safiya, and he saw someone at some distance, and that person tried to move away because he recognized the Prophet. The Prophet looked at his taqwa. He thought that he may not have any misperception in his mind. He called out, "Wait, hold on, the woman next to me is my wife Safiya." Because it was dark, no one could recognize. And that person, that Sahabi, out of respect for the Prophet and his wife, he tried to move away. Otherwise, if they had crossed, then he could recognize that he is his wife. So it was a common practice in the Prophet's day. Women used to pray in the Prophet's mosque. In the days of Umar's Caliph Umar, and nothing, Umar is not to be criticized, blamed. There were social, cultural problems. Then this practice was checked and it was discontinued. But the correct Islamic position is, if women want to pray in a mosque, they are most welcome. They cannot be denied this one. So now I am telling you that hadith, so-called hadith, it is generally said that for a woman, the best thing is she should pray at home, not even at home, even in the interior most part of the home. And now look here, What is the background? It was in the Prophet's time. There was a lady. Her husband was an old, blind person without any children, and she lived at some distance from Masjid al-Nabi. Her husband complained to the Prophet that, look, there are 2 mosques near my house. She does not pray there. She goes to your mosque at such a distance, so far away, which puts me to inconvenience. So that was purely administrative matter, nothing to do with Islam. The Prophet asked that lady, pray in a mosque near your house. She was so angry. She said, what mosque? I will never pray in a mosque. I will pray inside my house. Even not inside my house, I will pray in the interior most part of my house. So look here. This is that lady's angry reaction. This होता है जिद में कोई कहता है I won't do it. मैं उसकी शक्ल नहीं दिखूँगा. मैं ये नहीं करूँगा. Extreme view she expressed. But because it is all part of hadith, so people think that this is hadith. If you want, please jot down this book. I had read a wonderful article which is about these popular stories about hadith. One of the students of English, Haris Mansoor, he has translated and written an article on all the ahadith which are apparently anti-woman. And the title of the article here is Are the Qur'an and Hadith biased against women? अभी जैसे मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल दे रहा था नाक़िसुल अक़्ल होने की जो so called hadith. Woman has been created from rape, so that's why she is totally beyond repair. It is only a metaphor. She is being created from a rape. And the Prophet, yes, he said that rape is a covered part. Everyone knows that. You can feel it. Rape is not something straight bone, it is rape. So, this bottle is cylindrical, this TV is flat, this roof is oval. It is a matter of shape. It is not that this shape is bad. The Prophet did not say that she is unreliable, she is a liar, she is inferior. He was just illustrating a point that men and women, they belong to the same species. She has been created from the rib of Prophet Adam. Now, what is its meaning? It is a matter of ghaib, isn't it? We don't know how Adam was created and then how Eve was created. It is all matter of ghaib. We cannot say anything definitely. So, Prophet was just giving an example to show the closeness. They are belong to the same species. So, my dear young friends, here are some of the ideas about the image of women in the Quran. Quran is neutral. And yes, let me add, in the same Surah Tahrim, the two pious women are presented. One Maryam, the other is Pharaoh's wife. In the same passage, two evil women are also described. One is the wife of Prophet Noah, the other is the wife of Prophet Lot. They were wives of the prophets, still they were unbelievers. They were punished like the rest of the unbelievers. Again, the point of the Quran is, you may be someone's wife, you may be someone's husband, you may be someone's son, and that's so many examples. There is the example of the son of Noah, who was an unbeliever, and the son of Ibrahim, who readily submitted himself for sacrifice. So there are good characters, bad characters, all men and women. So the Quran doesn't say that all women are virtuous, they are paragon of good qualities. This is human nature, just as males, some of them are good, some of them are not. So some evil women are Zulekha, even the story, the earlier part is of course very disgusting, isn't it? How she is seducing her slaves and she is in the position of power and she is abusing that. So, and then there is a very worse example of another woman in Surah Lahab, isn't it? You will have the Prophet's uncle tormenting the Prophet, and he was actively supported by his wife, and that's why the Quranic verse is about her. Malatul Hatab, he carrying wood for that and for causing hurt to the Prophet. So, because the Quran is not man's book, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is above and beyond human weaknesses. That's why you find such perfect justice, neutrality, objectivity in the Quranic description, and it is not proper to consider that women have any inferior role or position in the Quran or in Islam. Okay?